1968. Now, another thing here. How many of you people out there were affected by that there mater problem we had? Them there maters, the ones that had all that there, poisonous material in them, turned out that they were salmonella. Wait a minute, salmonella in tomatoes? Wait a minute. That's kind of goofy. Well, on the other hand, let's map this out for you. Do you want to figure that, as I've said before, the big toilet flush north from Mexico, people, pardon the pun, but actually the application is direct here. There are two ways to look at this of what happened with the Mexican tomatoes. And notice I said just Mexican tomatoes. Might have been Chinese tomatoes, but you got to remember something. Here's how the stuff comes in the United States nowadays. If you look at the big map of the North American onion BS they want to do, you've got this big superhighway so they can flush all the debris into the U.S. straight through Mexico on the west coast, run straight through Texas, and then up through the west side of the country, west side of Mississippi, on the west side, West Beach, and through the Plain States. That way they can steal all the grain and dump all their garbage on us. Mostly it'll just be a dump corridor to pull all the good stuff out of the U.S. and steal what's left of the country. Well, there's two ways to look at this. Either A, the Mexican growers were just doing what they always do, which is using human waste, dumping it all over the fields, and it being all over your tomatoes. Num, num. Ain't nothing like having somebody flush the toilet and you eat those tomatoes grown with it. Hoo-hoo. The other option is somebody intentionally poisoned the stock from down in Mexico, either coming from overseas, like, say, from China. Why we need tomatoes from China, I do not know. In fact, to be quite honest, it is very stupid for us to be ordering things from China that we eat because, like your dogs who died last year, you might be the next thing, okay? But either way, here's the problem I have with this. Notice how they had 40-some states, I think is what they said, were affected now, people. Now, that did not happen by accident. But here's how Mark is going to explain to you how things work in the produce and in the meat department world of grocery stores today. The Department of Homeland Security, the all-seeing eye, and the Gestapo /KGB the secret police of the day, the de jure secret police for the moment of the latest interior police mechanism in the United States, last year implemented a series of regulations which mean that every case of fresh fruit, every case of fresh vegetables, and every case of meat has a logged-in registered number. With the touch of a computer keyboard, wait a minute, hold on here, can I simulate this? Hear that? Wow. Oh, look, what's coming up on the screen? Oh, why, a complete inventory of all of the cases of food that are out there. People, the anal retentive control freaks, have already plugged this system in. It is an absolute lie. I will repeat, it is an absolute lie that they do not know where this came from. I will repeat again, it is an absolute lie that they claim they don't know where this stuff came from. Every case of food that is fresh, either coming as produce or as coming as meats, by the way, mostly from overseas or from Mexico, are logged into a central computer database. And not only are they entered from, say, the production end coming across the border, but when they go to a central warehouse, they're entered into another logbook there. When they go out to, say, a distributor, they're logged there. And when they go out, or when they go out to a specific grocery store, the grocery store itself has to log all of that data in. And there's cross-referencing from both the logbook at the grocery store end and from the delivery system at the other end to show exactly where every serial numbered case and lot went and came from. So, when you see this, we don't know where it came from, that is a lie. See, they're counting on you thinking that the all-seeing police state all of a sudden just went into catatonic brain fart. This is like the whole lie with 9/11. You have to believe that you could get past the FAA and the Air Force, both anal retentive control freak organizations, which is good because they keep people alive, okay? Well, now we're applying the same type of nutcase. We got to, log everything. We got to control everything. Okay, now we've got that. And you know what? You aren't safe at all. In fact, if you believe what they're saying on television and the radio right now, all this anal retentive control freak BS didn't help you one iota. Didn't do anything for you at all, people. In fact, just reverse. It seems to me that now that they've got their little butt buddies in place, they're covering for somebody and lying about where the stuff came from, because they know exactly where it came from. But here's the problem. It shows you that if you think it's bad now, imagine when absolute supremacy is given to these shysters from the global end who will pollute the American system the rest of the way. Oh, yes, I hope I'm waking you up there at the kitchen table, because think about this. One way or another, they know exactly. You cannot tell me that when you have 20 and then 30 and then possibly 40 states affected by this distribution, that you can't follow the arrows back to where it came from, people. Come on. The nutcase control freaks that have got all this database. God, you realize, I want you to think about this. This is just like there's two areas where,